Happy Thursday, my darling pop culture junkies. It's another episode of Pop Culture Mondays on Thursdays. And as always, it's me,
On Thursdays.
Wow, guys. So I wrote in the newsletter this week that it was a slow pop culture week because, or like from the time I recorded the podcast over the weekend to when I wrote the newsletter on Monday. And full disclosure, multiple things could happen between now while I'm recording and when this goes live on Thursday. But I wrote about how it was a slow week and things were unfolding as I was writing. So I'm actually going to talk about something today in the podcast that wasn't in the newsletter, which is always exciting. That means there was like that window of time where some things were unfolding. But I also think it was a slow pop culture news week because it was such a crazy political news week. And as I've said, politics, pop culture, they all sort of collide now in this mad world that we're in. And I'm not going to talk about politics. I know so many of you really want me to stay away from what's going on. We need a break. We want to be inclusive. However, the No Kings weekend, which was a meme fest in and of itself from some of my favorite signs, which I am going to show one or two of my favorite signs here. For those of you watching, for those of you listening, trust me when I say they're not suitable for work, but they are hilarious because one of them in particular that says the C word, see you next Tuesday, popped up on mainstream media, on broadcast news, and you could actually see Stephanie Rule's face. Stephanie Rule, our girl, really one of the inspos of why Pop Culture Mondays exists, because she was like, what the fuck is going on in pop culture all those many moons ago. You see her face when she's interviewing her talking to her guy on the ground. I think it was Jacob. I don't remember. But you see her face and she's like, I can't believe that's on air. So that's one of the signs. Then there's another couple signs that I quite love. And then, of course, we had our baby girl, or I guess it's our daddy. I think he's a daddy. I think he's moved from baby girl. I think he's daddy, Pedro Pascal, and the downtown LA No Kings March. Chef's kiss. Could not ask for anyone better for that moment in time. He's the one that has been very outspoken, protect the dolls, all of that. So it was nice to see him there. I wanted to go. I will say I did not go. There was a protest just by me in Beverly Hills, but a little side note, a little disclosure I put in the newsletter and on Instagram this past weekend. My dog Potato is getting a little sister. Now is more to come. I'm not going to reveal the name, but for those of you watching, here's a little picture of her. And she's perfect. She's 1 month old. I was there from the moment they were born. It's my friend's Frenchie had babies, and we're going to bring one into the Hammerling household, the expanding family. So I was very focused in puppy world and also trying to just take a break from being online. Now, the current president of the United States got into the pop culture moment of it all, and I'm not going to show it here. You've all seen it. If you haven't seen it, honestly, adopt me, bring me into your world. Like, how do I live in that world where it's not every avenue I turn down, there is this video. Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, my group messages, it's everywhere. But if you haven't seen it, he reposted an AI video of him obviously wearing a crown because he is the one who thinks he is a king, and flying a fighter plane as a fighter pilot, with Kenny Loggins' song from Top Gun. Kenny Loggins has since come out being like, no, I did not approve that, you motherfucker. I did not. Take it down. No one ran that by me. Highway to the danger zone. Like, I'm sorry. That is Maverick and Goose. You, Mr. President, are no Maverick and no goose. So like simmer the fuck down. And then in the most self-aware I do think that this president has ever been, the video shows him dropping massive amounts of feces onto the protesters in New York, including Henry Sisson, who's the young, outspoken influencer, political, I guess, I don't even know what you call him. I don't know if he's a commentator, but he's young and he's sort of like the Charlie Kirk of the left. He's getting the youth vote. He's getting people out there, and Donald Trump can't stand him. And so you see him dumping shit on him, but the citizens of New York, on his own people, on his own citizens, because they disagree with him. They are protesting him. He dropped shit on them, which, like I said, good for you, Mr. President. You are self-aware. You are dumping shit on us all the time. Thank you for acknowledging. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So that is it. That is probably why I have had my head buried in the sand, literally, like, I just was, my head was buried in puppies. That's what it was, because I needed some self-soothing. But wake up on Sunday to really unbelievable news. I mean, heartbreaking in some ways, but nobody was hurt. Nobody's dead. So there is that. The jewel heist of the century took place in Paris Sunday morning. I think it was like 9:30 Paris time at the Louvre. Now, if you guys watch as much content as I do, as much TV shows, movies, whatnot, many of you are familiar, and I've talked about it a lot on the podcast before when it was out, which we're eagerly awaiting a next season of Lupin, which is a French Netflix series that I think it's going to be the 4th season. I think they had a mini season, but anyway, regardless, he is a like once in a generation jewel thief, like magician. And we are invested in him. He is this unbelievable character. We follow Lupin from the time he was a little boy. We know his origin story. It sort of loops back in. He's now going through divorce, and with a kid, but complicated with his ex, loves his ex still, very close to his child. He is a master thief. Like every episode there's something and you're just like, holy shit. And then you backtrack and you see how it's done. And it is compelling television in the sense that it is in French and you forget it's in French. Like I have it on subtitles, but I forget. Like I hear it in English and it's actually reminding me of all my French. It is that good of a show. And if you haven't watched it, let this be the inspiration for you to go back and like, I'm so jealous that you'll get to start anew.
Tiens, voilà la copie.
Ah ouais. Tu t'es surpassé, Benjamin.
C'est pas nickel, hein. J'ai fait ce que j'ai pu en une semaine. La prochaine fois, tu me donneras plus de temps.
Il n'y aura pas de prochaine fois, je te le dis. Il est temps de passer à autre chose. C'était juste important pour moi de le récupérer. Merci, mon pote.
Lupin, steals one of the crown jewels of a necklace. This one, mind you, not the 6 or 7 pieces that, or maybe more, were stolen on Sunday. But he steals in a most unlikely, improbable, crazy scenario necklace from the Louvre, from the royal collection. I don't know if it was meant to be this one, which was part of the Napoleon collection. But that's the whole premise of one of the episodes in the whole season leading up to this like unbelievable, once in a lifetime, never could you ever imagine it happening heist. I mean, if they are in the process of filming the show right now for the next season, which is meant to come out in 2026, I think they have to go back to the drawing board because the unbelievable has happened. So if you guys haven't been following, there's a front page of the New York Times. Literally broad daylight on a Sunday, a truck pulls up with a huge like crane-like ladder that's like a fire ladder, goes up, 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 up on the side of the Louvre on a Sunday morning right after it's just opened. It just right up there, just, you know, right in plain sight, right? That's what they say, hiding in plain sight. And guys dressed like construction workers shimmy up the ladder And a couple guys go in and one stands on lookout and they have tools to break the glass. They get in and in 7 minutes. And like, this is Mission Impossible. This is Lupin. This is every single crime movie series you can ever imagine. But for real, like Pink Panther has nothing on these guys. They get in like, I guess the sensors are probably, they did it in daylight. The museum is open, so I imagine the sensors are off, but they get in, they break through the cases, and they just grab these, like literally you cannot put a dollar amount on what these jewels are. They're crowns, necklaces, unbelievable pieces of jewelry. This is from Napoleon, and they're portraits that are hanging in the Louvre that show them wearing and the people in his court wearing these jewels. This is unbelievable stuff. One of the crowns, I guess the big crown, and this is where you're like, they're this skilled. These are unbelievable pros, but they drop something on the way out. They escape. By the way, on scooters. They escaped on scooters like Lupin. It's like art imitating life, imitating art. Like, which came first? Do you think they were inspired by it? They left on scooters. Somebody dropped a crown. The crown got, I guess, damaged, but better damaged than not in their possession. So before I get into some of the content, I mean, obviously the creators have gone crazy and I am here for it. I love it. But like, I am just hopeful that there is some like billionaire Marvel villain sitting there in some place, whether it's in England or some other country, like he is a true collector and he needed them. This was his obsession and he paid people a ton of money to go in and get the jewels. That is my hope. If it were Lupin or any of these movies, that's what it is for. Not for somebody to go and be that brazen, that talented, to then go and break it up for parts, melting the gold. Like, I don't know what you can't sell that jewelry. Like, those things are hot. So you'd have to break it all down. But these are some like massive I mean, they would look so good. Like, I just want just like one of those little stones. Just, it would look so, don't you think it would look so pretty right here? Just like in my clavicle. Just a little, like, it's not gauche, just something like one of the smaller stones on a chain. It would look gorgeous. But those stones, whether collectively or individually, are like anybody that's just there. I don't know how you sell them. I mean, what do you do? But thankfully, there were certain pieces that were not taken. And thankfully, the Mona Lisa, which was in another side of the Louvre, but arguably the most famous piece at the Louvre and was stolen like 100 years ago and returned, Madame Lisa was safe. So this is a breach on all levels. I cannot imagine how many people are getting fired, but some of my favorite TikToks from this sort of ordeal will now be shown to you, because I just think that, like, we're talking wasted no time. These videos were already out like yesterday afternoon. So sit back, take a look. These are some of my favorite. They'll get you laughing in a time of true sadness.
Guys, I'm here at the Louvre. Quick haul update. I got some really cool stuff. I'm a quick shopper, in and out. Didn't have time to read the plaques, but let me just like quickly show you what I got. Okay, so first is this ruby diamond ring from the Byzantine era. Kind of don't care what time period, but it's going to be a great resale on eBay.
Boys, our heist at the Louvre is tomorrow. I'd love to go over the plan.
Now, tomorrow, that's a Sunday, that's the Lord's Day, so I need this heist to be respectful.
I want to be in and out in 4 minutes. You're going to get a pair of AirPods. When you hit the final bridge of Born This Way by Lady Gaga, you want to be out of there.
I'd like to add that other song options also include I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas, Water Under the Bridge by Adele, and Deja Vu by Beyonce.
Eyes here, Brandon. Heist. Happy. Energized. Intelligent. Smooth. Tested.
They broke into the Louvre with angle grinders, stole a bunch of Empress bling, and escaped on motorcycles. The fanfics are going to be epic.
They're all so good. They're all just they make me laugh. But I think this guy his enthusiasm for what went down is so good. He explains it. I know it's sort of repetitive. I've told you a lot about the heist, but there are like, if anyone's going to catch them, it's going to be like a team of TikTokers are going to map it to who it might have been. But this guy breaks it down for us.
Do you mean chainsaw-wielding men
A chainsaw-wielding gang
scurried up to the side of the Louvre in the middle of a fucking Sunday morning in a very conspicuous black pickup truck with a giant ladder coming? You think I'm joking and over-exaggerating? I'm gonna show you footage, so you buckle up.
This is the truck that robbers apparently used, according to French press reports, to gain access to the Louvre Museum.
Middle of the day, Sunday in France. They climb up that ladder. Remember the chainsaws they're wielding as men? They've parallel parking in France.
Using a ladder mounted on the back of a truck.
They used the chainsaws to smash the fucking windows
And broke in through a window.
scurry around through the fucking museum.
They made into what's described as the Apollo Room, where France keeps its royal crown jewels.
And then fucking collect the jewels and get away.
Making off, we understand from French authorities, with jewelry of an inestimable value and cultural heritage.
While also wielding chainsaws and being men.
So I think we have, if we're not going to see it incorporated into Lupin, we do know that right now writers' rooms everywhere for all of the studios, Paramount, Universal, Warner, Netflix, Hulu, all of them. I don't even know how they work. MGM. I don't know the difference between a streamer and a studio, obviously, but they're all doing it. Like college kids, screenwriter kids, they're all like using the Paris break-in as this sort of impetus for a heist movie or series. And I mean, it's just beginning. We're going to follow this. I feel like we're going to get some answers. Like, what if we don't, though? What if it's like the guy who jumped out of the airplane with all the money? Like, we are still, all these years later, unsure of where that money went, what happened to the guy. I keep calling him D.L. Hughley, but that's not right because he's the comedian. But you know what I'm talking about. The guy who is probably dead, but we have this like lore about it that he jumped out of an airplane with gobs of money and is living somewhere in a romantic fashion. That's just who we are. Okay, so Paris is a buzz. I mean, could you imagine all of the people right now outside the Louvre? Like, could you imagine I feel like there's the cliche police detective and Lupin is going to come in and they're getting experts and people are pissed. What a thing, but we shall follow. But thank you, social media. Some of the tweets are great. The comments are great. Like, again, if you're not watching, I'm putting it all up there for you to see. But again, it's also in the newsletter, maybe not some of the same ones that I just showed, but go and look at the newsletter. The newsletter, the notes section of the podcast has the link. Go check it out, popculturemondays.com. Okay, so before we talk about a few other things that I wanted to talk about that were in the newsletter, breaking news on the pop culture front that came out after I published, or that came to my attention after I published, I should say. So are you familiar with the singer Somber? He is, how can I say it? Let's just, Ethan, I know, copyright, but maybe we can just play a little smidgen of a song just so you know who I'm talking about. You've heard it. It's a TikTok. He's on TikTok. One of his songs has 1 billion streams. And that says a lot because I think Coldplay just got 1 billion streams. Like, one song has 1 billion streams. That's huge. Somber he just turned 20, which is relevant. He is a straight out of LaGuardia high school kid. He is a performing arts kid. He is a musician. He is a singer, songwriter. Also, Wikipedia says record producer. A multi-hyphenate 20-year-old. Again, just turned 20. He is like a classic LaGuardia High School. It's fame. I want to live forever. He looks like he's from the 70s or 80s in that fame era. He's very tall, very skinny, which also is relevant. And I've never paid any attention to him other than knowing his music. This is not somebody that I would clamor to go see live. It's just not my vibe. However, he's on tour and he is doing his thing. And apparently he has a very young audience, which makes sense because he's sort of like known from social media and so forth. So this girl, I'm just gonna tee it up for you and then show it. This woman, Meg, sorry, I'm not looking at her TikTok right now, but she decided to give an unfiltered review of her experience at the concert. And she is on fire. She is lit up. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's like 4 minutes long, but you'll get from this clip that she is lit up. And let me just give you the Cliff Notes version because I'm not going to play the whole thing, but she's lit up. She goes to see him live. She's a big fan. She is undone by the age of his audience, which she says are like 12 to 16-year-olds, which is fine. But I don't know why that's a thing, but okay, she's upset, 12 to 16-year-olds. But she's also, what she implies throughout the review is his behavior and response to the audience, knowing that they're kids. And she was really creeped out by it. She said that doesn't have a good command of the audience. He's not a real performer. He might be a singer, but he doesn't know how to captivate an audience. He told a bunch of jokes, she said, that were like meme jokes. And she's like, I live an online life. And like, these were even too online and like sort of pandering to that age, but he's a 20-year-old and called himself daddy at one point, was just all over the place. She really didn't like it, but she doesn't come out and say it, but the underlying sort of tone is that this was inappropriate and like it was a weird, icky, gross vibe of how he was communicating and telling stories and what he was doing, knowing that his audience was this young, like getting the kids to talk about their toxic exes, which, you know, I don't, like 12 to 16-year-olds shouldn't even be talking about toxic exes. So she's really, really on fire. So here, just take a little listen to some of what she had to say.
I don't know who Somber is. He's a 20-year-old artist. He blew up online, I think on TikTok. He has a lot of hits. I like a lot of his music. A lot of people my age like a lot of his music, whatever. I was really excited to go see him. I don't really go to concerts that often unless I really love an artist. I was so excited to see this performance. By far, genuinely the worst concert I've ever been to in my life for a multitude of reasons. But I'm going to explain to you why, if you're over the age of 16, you should not spend your money on a Somber concert. Let me walk you through my evening. We get in line. It's pouring down rain. The line's like 1.5 miles long. That's all cool. Sold out show. Mother Nature, I don't care. We're waiting in line, and there's a group in front of us of like 4 teenage girls and their dad. And I wasn't scanning the entire line. I was trying not to get rained on, but I was just like, that's really sweet. They must be big Somber fans so that their dad brought them to the show. That was red flag number 1. I'd say a pink flag, right? That was just whatever. First big red flag, we get to the door. The guy checks my ID. I'm 25 years old, mind you. So is my boyfriend. The guy looks at my ID, starts quizzing me like it's a fake. He's like, what's your zip code? Looking me up and down. I genuinely was like, what?
She also calls him Slender Man at one point, which I would just like to point out he is. I know she's referencing Slender Man, like the cryptic, horrible, horror character that went viral a number of years ago. There were the famous kids that tried to kill their friend, Slender Man killings. Long, skinny guy. He is skinny. Like you can't, if he's standing sideways, you can't really see him. But that's no fault on his own. However, she has had it and it went viral. It's an honest take. It's I am sure not hard to read between the lines for the fans, for the parents of the fans and Somber himself, right? Here's where things then take a sideways turn. He responds and it's clear he's responding as a mindset of a LaGuardia defensive artist, not somebody who has a label and agents and managers and publicists. And maybe, I'm all for authenticity, but do not bite the hand that feeds you when you're in this station in life. So I am, for everyone's sake, playing the entire response video because that's where things have gone a little sideways.
I thought I was chronically online, but it's just come to my attention that there's a TikTok drama going around because a 25-year-old attended my concert and was basically complaining that there were too many tweens there. I was making too many brain rot jokes, and she just thought it was a cringe concert. And also she was body shaming me, and it's kind of started a massive body shaming hate train directed towards me on a lot of videos of me on the internet right now, which is, I totally respect people having opinions, but I am a 20-year-old artist, freshly 20. And if you're 25 years old and you're gonna come to my concert and not expect people younger than you to be there when I, the artist, am 5 years younger than you, it's just a skill issue. I mean, also, like, the jokes thing, like, you had to have known about my online presence before coming to my concert. I mean, anyone who knows me knows I've never uttered a serious word in my life. And also, I make jokes for 5 minutes of the concert, and the rest is music. Like, live a little, enjoy life. Every age, sex, sexuality, gender, race, everyone is welcome at my concert, and I mean everyone. You guys need to find problematic people to hate on, because I am just existing. Also, I'm just going to give a quick tutorial. Also, I just remembered that I had a fever and bronchitis at the show she went to, but the show goes on. I will not cancel unless I'm on my death.
God, these kids, children. So you can see he's angry. I get it. He's defensive. He's now going to have to make an apology about this, which is his reaction video. And, you know, people are entitled to their own opinion, but you know, and even if they're critics are critics, but he went about it the wrong way, and he's clearly shook by it. He's obviously interpreting what she was trying to come at, but I just think he's gone about it the wrong way. And here are some of the members of the TikTok community, Somber fans, whatnot, who have responded to all of this.
Somber should have never posted a response to that girl's video. His response was terrible. He should have just said, if he had to respond, right? If it was bothering him that bad, which it clearly was, he should have just said, stop body shaming me. Stop sending that girl death threats. My concerts are open for everyone. Everyone is welcome, but I understand everyone may not like my concerts. That's simple, right? He could have left it right then and there, because for him to get on the internet and tell her she needs to touch grass, that she's too old for his shows, that this is a skills issue because she should have known his audience. Huh?
To the girl that posted about Somber's concert, all I want to do is say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have been contemplating going to a Somber concert for a while because I do love his music. I found him this year, like most other people, and I absolutely love almost everything that he's released. That being said, being surrounded by tweens is my personal hell. It is my actual nightmare. But also in regards to Somber himself, I've seen his TikToks and everything, and he doesn't really give someone that is super memey. He does seem like he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's kind of funny, but he doesn't give meme lore. So I think I would also be taken aback if I went to his concert and he was being weird as fuck.
Approved Somber's response video. Who approved this? Because this was a crazy response. And I talked about Meg's video and how it's valid criticism, and she was a fan of his. Keep that in mind. She went to the show because she loved his music and wanted to hear him play the music live. And she made this video to alert people about the weird experiences she had, which is totally fair. And it's kind of taken off online, and a lot of people have been making videos. And so he should make a response, because there's people in my comments selling their Somber tickets, all right? Now, let me say this. He said it was a skill issue that she didn't expect people younger than her. I think she was more shocked by how young a lot of the crowd was. I don't think she thought it was going to be mostly teens. He did not address making sex jokes in front of his very young audience, even though, according to that video, he knows how young his audience is, and also said that none of it is that serious. And my thing with making those kind of jokes at the show that she described is, who needs to, right? You don't need to do that. I feel like that's a read the room kind of thing. And he completely avoided the criticism she had. I don't think she body shamed at all. I think she was talking more about his movement and his dancing, and I think that's fair. And honestly, when artists do this kind of response to valid criticism, it really rubs me the wrong way.
So it's not a good day. I would imagine there's some crisis talks happening. I'm sure it will blow over. Maybe this is a kick in the ass he needs. You are 20. It's like he's acting like 20 is like he's 15. He's not. And he's also acting like this woman who's 25 is ancient. So this whole ageism thing, gotta go. But this, my little darlings, should show you, think before you film, think before you get other opinions. The age-old advice that my mom gave me, that I'm sure many of your mothers gave you, at least in our generation, back when we wrote things, was when you're angry, write it down, write all of your feelings down, type them out, whatever, print it, put that letter, whatever, if it's handwritten or printed, fold it up, put it under your pillow, literally sleep on it. Literally sleep on it. And then you wake up in the morning, even if your perspective hasn't really changed, it's done. Get rid of it, burn it, rip it up, put it in the garbage, and nothing good comes from it. But just taking a minute. I could take some of my medicine, some of my own guidance better, but it's a good reminder.
I posted a video about Somber's concert, my experience, how much I hated it. I dissed the opener, I dissed his show, weirded out, didn't know it was a tween audience. You get it, you've seen it, cool. I did expect hate comments because I put my opinion online, and that happens when you put your opinion online. Some people need to learn from that. I've posted political content, like really polarizing political content on here for over a year, and I've never gotten as much hate as dissing a tween artist online. And I think that tells you everything about the state of our country that you need to know. All of us need to put down the iPads and go play outside. Okay, open the schools, because something is going on and we need to fix it.
Okay, so another thing that I wanted to talk about, because we haven't talked about Kim Kardashian in a minute. I have all the respect for her in terms of her as an entrepreneur. She understands the assignment. That woman knows how to make money. That woman knows how to make attention, as do all of her family members, but she in particular has really navigated multiple moments, and her brand Skims, I really love. I'm not wearing Skims. I might be wearing Skim panties. I love them. I love the brand. And I said in the newsletter, I actually live just above the Skims new flagship store on Sunset Boulevard. They recreated this building, or rebuilt this beautiful building now. It's a beautiful space right on Sunset Boulevard in the heart of West Hollywood. And there are lines always. There are so many people, influencers coming and going. You see dads with their teenagers standing outside because they don't want to be anywhere near there. It's like the new Victoria's Secret, but and it's all monotone, and it's about shapewear and other things. This is not our first rodeo with sort of a, I don't know if it's clickbait. I don't even know if it's real. I don't know if it's in stores, but she launched, I guess, a year ago, whatever, the nipple bra, if you remember those little suckers where you could wear a bra and they would have hard nipples. It made a big fuss. I've never seen them in the wild. Well, this past week, she launched these little babies. Yes, they are thongs with hair on them. Synthetic hair, I should point out, not real hair, not horse hair, but synthetic hair. Very, very inclusive. I think there are 12 different colorways. There's curly hair and there's straight hair. There's red, there's black, there's blonde, there's auburn, there's brunette. There's all different colorways, different colors of the thong too, to go with the different skin colors. It is unclear what the point is. You have a thong with most of us are getting landscaping down there. So this is adding the landscaping back. If the no landscape. They were, the minute I looked, I went online, it's all sold out. Now, I never saw it available. It's also not on her main grid. She posted about it on her stories, and it's not on the Skims main grid. So part of me feels like it's just a brand campaign, like a marketing campaign, that maybe they had one or two of them, and so they were sold out quickly, or maybe they never did. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but if you guys get a hold of these little suckers, I'd like evidence.
Moving on to next season's thongs. Any ideas here?
I was thinking maybe we do animal print again.
What if we did bush?
Oh, like a leafy green bush kind of situation.
No, I mean full on bush on a thong. Full on bush.
Why would we do that?
Are you messing with us? Is this a bit? Hear me out. We get a thong. We put pube colored hair all over it, right? It's like a little pube patch. You just slide right on. It's a little pube. It's a little merkin.
I'm not.
This is genuinely a bad idea. This is a really bad idea, right? This is not. No, seriously, guys, pubes are bad. Pubes are in right now.
What do you mean by pubes are back?
Pubes are huge this year, okay? The lesbians are on it. They had a bush out summer this year. I'm serious.
Here he goes again.
Think about it. We put a bunch of different, pube colors on a nice little thong. You slip that right on.
Y'all can't grow your own bush? Y'all are buying bush wigs? Not bush wick,
But bush wigs? Y'all are buying wigs to put, y'all are buying extensions for your bush? Like, since when can we not grow our own bushes? Like, y'all can't just like y'all are shaving your bush and then putting a bush wig on top of it? Like, what? Like, that's like if I shaved my head bald and then put a wig on. Like, what, you wanna, is it because you want like a different textured bush? Like, you wanna dye your bush? Like, okay, then dye it. Like, you're gonna get a ginger bush and put it on top of like your brunette bush? Like, I don't understand. Like, why do we need bush wigs? Like,
the joke is that Kim was so embarrassed by this that she hid her face in this little fashion moment at this charity gala this weekend in Los Angeles. She's such a beautiful girl. I don't know why she hid her face. It also is just weird. I don't like it. I don't like her covering her face in this sort of burqa thing. I don't like it. She also said in an interview that she had her hair and makeup done, had actually flown her makeup artist from New York to LA to do her makeup, and then last minute decided to be all covered up. Feels very Kanye to me. I don't like it. But she's not embarrassed about the underwear because it's printing money, whether people are buying it or it's just bringing them driving traffic to Skims. Chef's kiss. She's brilliant. Well done. I'm not going to cover everything in the newsletter because there is a lot. So if you want to learn about Hassan Piker, who he is, streamer, Twitcher, political commentator, huge. Kids will know him if you don't. The controversy over him and his dog, whether his dog had a collar on that shocks the dog when the dog isn't doing something Hassan wants. And apparently in a live stream, the dog yelped and people believe that he shocked the dog. So it's like a bad situation unfolding. Lots of people coming to his defense, all in the newsletter. And Cooking with Kaya is also in the newsletter. She's a young woman who's very flirtatious and does a lot of the sexy moves in the kitchen while she's preparing meals. A very funny trend where women try to see if their men know what they're talking about when they're like cooking with, and when they sing the song, that women go nuts because that means that their men are ogling on these cooking videos. So check it out on the newsletter. But I do want to talk about this trend that I don't know, has the potential. We're right in the early stages. Literally, it just broke this weekend, called Group 7, and another genius marketing thing. It might be the new 6-7. We'll see. It also feels a little fabricated, but we'll see. This creator, who is a singer and decided to just sort of made this viral video. I don't know if she knew how viral it would go, but maybe it was just like lightning strikes, but maybe she knew. She's using her own song in this video that has gone viral. So first, this is where Group 7 first came on.
If you're watching this video, you are in Group 7. I've posted 7 videos tonight, and this is the 7th one. Just as a little science experiment to see what kind of video gets the most reach out of the 7. And I don't know what that says about you, but you're in Group 7. Welcome.
And now, like, your kids are going to start being like, Group 7, I'm in Group 7, we're in Group 7. So here are a couple reaction videos to what Group 7 is. And I feel pretty early on this trend, but it's hard to say. This could be something we're talking about next week, next month. It could just go away in as fast as it came. So check it out.
Whole Group 7 trend is what, like a day old? I'm pretty sure I saw the original video like a couple hours ago, and it is already spread like wildfire. Have I done any more research into this trend? No. Have I seen any Group 1 through 6 videos? No. Do I agree that all of Group 7 are baddies? Yes.
Group 7, I found out last night, right? And then you're telling me I wake up this morning to find out that there's like a huge internet outage and all my favorite apps aren't working? I'm sorry? Driving into work, I'm trying to order my Wawa breakfast. You know, a little bit of a coffee moment, a sizzly, maybe if I'm feeling frisky, and the app's not working? What the fuck's up with that? I don't like that. That's not what's supposed to happen when you're in a Group 7, baby.
Want to know what Group 7 is? Let me explain to you what it is from Group 7er herself. Through the power of TikTok, Group 7 has become an inside joke with a bunch of strangers, and it's incredible. I haven't seen anything like this in a while. It's also immaculate marketing. Let me show you why. And let me show you what Group 7 is, okay? Sorry, my green screen is broken, bear with me. But this is Sophia James. She posted a TikTok and she says, if you're seeing this, you are in Group 7. I've posted a bunch of videos today, but if you're seeing this, you've made it, you are Group 7. You are getting Group 7's TikTok. The comments are popping off. Everyone is just like, oh, Group 7 is full of a bunch of baddies, okay? And this comment made me LOL. I have immediate beef with Groups 1 through 6. So I go to her profile and to see like all the other videos to see what types of people are in the other groups, like Group 6, Group 5, Group 4. I click on Group 4's TikTok. These are the comments. I'm only here spying from Group 7. So it's all these like Group 7 people commenting on all her other TikTok, making the Group 7 original TikTok go viral. What people haven't really realized yet is that Sophia James used her own song for this TikTok that's now going viral, and it's become an inside joke with the internet. If you're seeing like everyone post TikToks being like, oh, can this be our theme song for Group 7? Or is this like our anthem? Or like, it feels so good to be a Group 7. Like you're seeing all the memes. Everyone is using her song. And it is the best marketing technique I have ever seen a musician do.
Deep down inside, I've always known that I was a part of Group 7. I'm just happy I could find other 7s. Let's get to it.
And then lastly, what did I watch that has me gagging, literally? That sounds dirty, but I really do. I watched it with my friend Brian. We watched it on Friday night. We had amazing Thai food, drank some beers. We're like, we were originally going to watch like a full-on horror movie. And then this was just dropped on Netflix.
911 status of the emergency. Are you having problems with the neighbor's children?
Hello, Sheriff's Office. Were any of you guys ever here messing with this lady?
No. We were playing football.
Sheriff's Office.
I called because the kids from across the street, they shouldn't be screaming and running around.
Okay.
It's called The Perfect Neighbor. And it's something. It is almost 90% of it, 98% of it is entirely filmed from the body cams of police officers. And it takes place in Florida. I think it's like right outside of Ocala. And it's 98% of it takes place on this one little cul-de-sac street. I think it's a cul-de-sac. Maybe in my brain it's a cul-de-sac. But this really cute community, families, lots of kids, lower income, but like lots of love, parents, lots of moms. You don't see that many dads, though dads definitely are in the picture. But lots of kids, they're all friends, and kids do what kids do. They ride their bikes, they're playing football, they're playing catch, they're playing tag. And it's just, I didn't grow up in a community like that. I grew up with like no kids in my street and neighbors sort of far away. So to me, that just felt like love. It felt like a lot of love. And there were Black families, there were white families. It was very diverse, but lots of kids and lots of moms who were very involved, and everybody's keeping an eye on each other. And one mom is like, I don't know which one are my kids. Like there's so many kids, but this is clearly an area that has always been very filled with kids. And then the main character besides the kids is this older white woman who claims she's a doctor at one point. Does not seem to be the case. She lives in a very small sort of single, maybe 2 or 3 room townhouse across the street from the line of houses where the kids are. And she doesn't own property. I don't know if she's the owner or renter. It's a little confusing. But she is apoplectic about the sound of children playing. It's like every boogeyman story that you heard when you were a kid. There was always the house. It's like, stay away from there. She's going to eat you. She's going to turn you into cookies, like whatever it is. We stayed away from the boogie lady house, right? This woman exists, and she would literally freak out, scream at the kids, claim they're on her property, even though it wasn't. Now, an interesting side note is the guy next to her told the kids, use the field, play on my property, whatever you want. Like, this is a neighborhood. This is what kids do. She would call the police incessantly. And the police came and would talk to the kids, talk to the moms, talk to her. And you hear the 911 calls, and then the police would come and there's body cams. So you get all the interviews. You see it from perspectives. This is a story about race. This is a story about inequality. No joke. And before I continue, I think this woman's TikTok, while I say everybody should watch it, I also understand why she's saying that her community should not.
Black folks, I'm going to save you the time. Don't watch The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix. Okay? It is 100% black trauma porn. You will be angry. You will cry. You will not understand it. It will ruin your day. So I've done the work for you. Carry on, Rewatch Insecure.
It's one of those things where, like, at first you're just like, what am I watching? What is this movie? I'm just going to watch night vision cameras that are on police officers. It is so brilliant. It is riveting. It is heartbreaking. It shows how what ultimately happens was tragic but unnecessary. I'm not going to give anything else away. I will close with this TikTok about it, but I urge you to watch it. It's compelling. It really, really is. It's not easy, and it's heartbreaking. I don't know what we can do about it. I mean, in some way, the cops did what they were trained to do. And I don't think people necessarily thought it would escalate the way it did, but it's something I urge you guys to check out. So let's close out with this TikTok.
Devastating documentary of the year just came out on Netflix today. You need to watch it. If you're someone who does not believe racism, but specifically systemic racism, does not exist in this country, I implore you, watch The Perfect Neighbor. It is one of the best documentaries in the worst ways possible. Perfect Neighbor is one of those documentaries when you watch it, it's going to stick with you to the core, because all it is, it's 90 minutes of police cam footage of a woman called Susan who repeatedly called the cops on her predominantly black neighborhood of kids just playing, trying to harass them all the time. She would call them racial slurs. And this would happen over and over and over again. Over 60 minutes worth of body cam footage, because that's how many times she called the police. She is easily the worst Karen ever. This builds and this builds and this builds with her calling the police repeatedly over and over and over again to where something ultimately tragic happens in the neighborhood. It left my jaw on the floor, and it will with you too. I implore you guys to watch this just because this is the type of racism that we still see in the country, and it also tackles the stand your ground law that is very controversial sometimes. This takes place in the state of Florida, but I think you guys should watch it. It shook me to my core. It's not overly edited. It's just raw footage. You're watching something tragic play out in real time.
Well, thank you, my darlings. I'm off to Montana. I don't know. I've never been. I can't wait to report back. I'm going with my friend Deborah. We are going to do Montana things, which basically means sitting in cowboy bars. And I, because I am single, am going to flirt with cowboys in Montana and maybe ride a mechanical bull. I don't know. Is that such a cliche? I'm totally Yellowstoning it. I am going to cosplay my Yellowstone moment. So there will be content for you, whether you like it or not. Thank you, Live Nation, as always, for making this podcast possible. And I'll see you guys on the other side.